Kublai pi baros ka thup khubor jungi ka dbmnTv. Kimat ki ba kongsan man ta ka singi kilong. Jat rathai ka surok umden marman. Kerpat kentiu SDO civil ka KSU ya ka mausin ram. Yo kem besen bamblang Python na yegu MBC Khulbari. Ban rakhis ni tengkai umbam umdi World Water Day hanongpo. Tementang ne phaj ki khubor ki ba khamania. Ka jingjat rathai jong ka surak ka bana umden shamarman kalabu jing ekipaj ba nongsong shnong ka tekathan hakalet kawan. Hakapor slam ki kali ki sakut hapadeng surak namar ka jingreban palat ka khti. Ka jing sniu ba jingjat ka ni ka surak kala khta shibun ka kwat ya ka yo ka kon ka kwat ka khia par ka puli puthi jong ki paj ba hakishnong ban ya na ka ni ka surak. Kinong rap, kinong pang, bat ki khana school kimpoy shi ki yo ki han, bat shi ki kam ki duk, hakapor ka babiang, nakadaw, joga jing sniu palat ka lentian. Kinong yalam shnong kirayat ho bagi kontraktor kila shna torti hadu kata-kata, bagi la siang tang daga khendo ya kani ka surok. Ka Khasi Student Union Southwest Khasi Hills District hajan mid jong ka singi balang, kala kentu ka sorkar bathamai ban kentiu kerdanno ka mausen ram CNRD block sha ka civil subdivision. Ka mausen ram CNRD block ka de ka weina ka block ka bala rimtam bat kala deiru ban kentiu kerdanno ka. Ka KSU Southwest Khasi Hills ka kerpadru na ka sorkar Jylla ban bu Community and Rural Development hapo ka than dolun lani ha ka than wa kaji.
Paling jong ka KSU Southwest Khasi Hills District bapik tiru ya ka wepak ka jili trikam kata po mosram sin di blok ka bahap po jili trikam jong ka KSU Southwest ti habang ipang to po mosram ba nak to ka nakadong ka thay mosram padu snam arpway arpar kantam kising balang ko kan thupro iki circle jongi jong ka KSU nadu ka super circle kaloba border circle bat ka balat border area circle FKGGP bat kiwe kising balang kile dawai ka sarkar ban aino lebat kitiu kerdan ya ka mosram sya ka civil subdivision nomor ka mosram kede ka we na ki ka mosram CNRD block kede ka we na ki block ka bala islam nomor nadu islam khat khandai spa ndu puat wat ka Jylla jongi ru kam pat yo na ka jong ka Jylla ketika blok apu mosram kala dan ka jong ka blok kumbang i ba kalong hadu menta kenika mosram CNRD block ladan kumba sispa andru potam kisnong bat ladang i ken ya ka jingjingai na ka mosram sa Shillong kala poi ki sanpo 100 km ndre dangi perkat na dangi paipat syaki kinong song jongi naka dong ka than mosram itu kidong ki basharum kidong bashabordar hak bede ki jingdon kam kalau long ka bajingai iki lada iki kam ki jam pendap nomor hawan hadu saya Shillong te kumta hakini ki snam ki baladap ni ba kata ka jingdawa jing ki kunhun sing balang kamtam ki circle jongi ki balai tristom kila dawai ka sarkar ban pun urlong no ban ai no ban ketu kerdan no ya ka mosram CNRD block sya ka civil subdivision hadu mata kam sempat lo urlong kumta nakaling jungi ya KSU Southwest ni kerpat ya ka sarkar kumjuru ya kinong mikmat ki badai nak po ka mosram constituency bakin simkia bakin kentu bat kin ya kran ya ka sarkar maka penta ban kentiu kerdano ya kaneka mosram CNRD block syaka civil subdivision
nakalang yung ka KSU Southwest District kene jamet kolong ba Parisko yang sarkar Parisko yang sarkar bade ka Jylla kam jong ka thai Southwest District ya ka wai ka Community and Rural Development Block te hajing sya kani ka jing dawa Community and Rural Development Block apo Southwest District kam dai shu barang thamai na ba nadu snam arjar khatsan terter ila dawa la kunung no ba kandam ka wai ka CNRD Block hapo dolun na ne jong hapo jong ka thanwa kaji ti yakani banta jing sang la panso na do ka hakani ka tem ka dap jong sarkar ha ka bang la yakandu you minister in charge jong ka CNRD block ha gitu gipor CNRD department tu gipor ha ka bang la ong ba dai ban town la sakoi ka block hapo wa kaji dolun nomor ngan se thu epi we jing sha ka long ba kini ka than ka dan dei ka wi ka than ka badang sa din ha po sa wes sek ki babun ki snong kolong ba ki don nat hadu lai pho hadu no pho kilometer na po makarwat ti haba kini ki ba na ki than ki lai don kam sa ki blok kata sa po ranikor la ne makarwat kolong ba sa po makarwat ki haban song kali hadu ar hadu lai kanta bat tame kataru bercaran koru ki haban ya ta kejat haka jingjinga haka berkasimpor habudu kumba lai kanta bikin poi ke kata ka dei ka banta ka bana kaleng jongi ki su service shek ni kwa ban kamau biang ni kwa ban kran biang sokar ha jisha kam dei ka mat ka badang tamai re ka dei ka mat ka bala sa tang la bunsnan bar ka ju poru ni sotanat pat bangi i ba ki nomi ikmat na po service shek menen kila kran ha dei ba kan kamat ban ong marmara ka blok tengi kenpuru eki kumbangi ju kenpuru na kapor ni kentu eki ba kidei benda simkhia bidei bakani benta bat kumjuru kumba kidei partner po jong government ba kidei ban push ya ka sarkar ba kidei ban snan udut ya kata
Kipat ba Nasional Phulbari West Garo Hills District kila yokem bat pelat ya wei ubesen bamblang ubala rung lamwer hayeng jong Habibus Zaman MDC ban wat jingbam hadien bala hab uslap per baningkong uni ubesen ulang ubahe bat ubajrong hado point praput laiti uni ubesen bamblang shikinong Tree Forest Wildlife jangka Garo Hills Autonomous District Council kibadon Phulbari bakin pelat ya u shalau ba jangka ni kasnong Rengkat berkaperthai baro kawai ke Office Public Health Engineering PHE Ribhoi Lembaga District Water and Sanitation Mission. Haka arpuar tarik Lber kala rakhe kasi kerpang jaka umbam umdi ya kabala tip kum ka World Water Day ya kabala penlong ha District Library Hall nongpo. Haka de kajing rakhe penne umbam umdi uba MB Tongper MCS Additional Deputy Commissioner Ribhoi District ba W Lingdo Executive Engineer Water Resources Department VW Momen SC PHE Nongpo uba E Dekhar EAC BDO Umling Block bat ki officer ki khana school ki nong hikai bat ki nong train na katanat PHE kilawan ban shembanta da ka jingshid hem hagani kasi Haka por man step la panong shwa da ka exhibition haka ba ki khana puli na ki school ba pher bat ki village organization kila wan ban shembanta haka jingya ko pen I ya ki jingshna kumnu ban tengkai ban penne ya ki tulong umbam umdi ya ka bala tip kum ka jal jivan mission exhibition kinong penyat kila airu ya ki busket shikinong job Kakenhon naka Yasnok Tilang Village Organization kala long kanong job baningkong ka St. Paul's High Secondary School kala wan haka kerdan ka baar bar ka St. Mary Secondary School haka kerdan ka balay. Lasam busket shikinong ya shembenta haka jingya ko perwai tenrai bar ikitu ki bala job haka jing mare marathon. Kasorkar Meghalaya lengba katanat penbiang umbam umdi Public Health Engineering kala rakhe kasingi bakarpang ban tengkai bat penne iki tulong umbam umdi hasusutham auditorium hakaba ki samla pule na ki school college bar university kila pen I padba iki jingdro babun jat halor kani kapang Menteri Rangba ka Jylla ukon rat ke sangma ulalong ukong san hakani ka jingelang hakaba ladan ki he ki han haki kerdan trekam bapher jong ka sarkar Jylla. Menteri Rangba ulakular pan penkieu ya kamang pisa na kabenta ka tenat PHE ban penbiang tengkai ban penne iki tulong umbam umdi hakeleng ki distrik bat Kishnong jong ka Jylla.
While I say this, Meghalaya has been one of the better performing states where we have been one of the better performing states where we have come out with our water policy. And I remember our Honorable Minister for Jal Shakti had come and he had made this comment last time when he had come here, saying that Meghalaya is one of the few states that has got the picture correct. Because it is not just about implementing the Jal Jeevan program where you construct the tanks and put the water pipes, but it is also at the end of the day about how you manage the source of the water supply. And hence Meghalaya has had a holistic plan of ensuring that we protect our water bodies, we protect our catchment areas, we rejuvenate our spring sheds, we rejuvenate or recharge the groundwater, we create reservoirs so that we can slow the flow of the water. And all these other measures are being done in coordination with other departments, keeping the larger picture in mind to ensure that it's not just about fitting pipes, which what Jal Jeevan does, but we're also looking at how to maintain the water table, maintain the overall reservoirs, the spring sheds, and protect our catchment areas. I was telling him about, which Dr. Shikil just mentioned, the payment for ecosystem services is one of the most unique programs that our state is doing. And in fact, in the whole country, we are the only state that is doing this program. And the logic behind this program, for those who may not be aware, is that for the first time, government is paying people to not destroy the forest. And the logic is very simple, that once people destroy the forest, and then we put back money into the system to grow the forest again for afforestation projects and plantation of trees, we are number one, destroying the forest, we are losing time, and we are spending money to build back the forest. PHE minister, because he got the timing very, very right. I'm sure the World Water Day was, of course, not planned by him, but it happens to be on this day. But it was very, I should say, very thoughtful of him of inviting me just before I present the budget tomorrow, so that I keep in mind that we need to keep higher budget for water projects. So I don't want to give out much information when I present the budget tomorrow. You will see that there is a large amount of funds that are going to be spent for water. So it's not just about us talking and giving long lectures and speeches, but about action also. So you will see, and I will try to maybe present a picture about the entire water scenario, and you'll be able to then really gauge the amount of importance that our government in the past 5 years and in the coming next 5 years, the importance that we're going to give to water. Huge projects that one would not be able to imagine could ever be done in this scale in a state like Meghalaya are going to be done in the coming years. And we will start off with this budget, and you will see tomorrow that there will be a large amount that will be kept for a lot of the water projects. We have been able to mobilize externally aided projects, whether it is for catchment area protection, whether it's for eco-restoration projects, whether it is for natural our resource management, or whether it is for creation of reservoirs. The amount runs into thousands of crores. I'm not talking of lakhs of few crores. I'm talking about thousands of crores. And that's the kind of focus that we have on water. And that's the reason why when the Honorable Minister mentioned this to me, I was very happy to be part of this project, of this celebration today. And once again, I thank him. And I'm sure that with the kind of leadership that we have of our ministers and also the officials who are working in the different departments, I can assure you that a lot of exciting times are coming ahead. And I can see that Meghalaya is going to be showing the way to many other parts of the country in terms of how to ensure that we have a very robust policy plan and implementation on ensuring that we manage our water well.
Haka arpu tarik Lber ka seng khasi seng keme ka penlong ya ka ngu ka dem knong ka bishar ka prat kum ka dak ban kentiu ksing haswa ban sedang ka syat suk mensim ka ban long haka pra kendai bat shipo tarik uyayong mentau senam. Haka jinga kran berkilat patai Khubor mentagasngi uba bantelang rumnong u chairman publicity committee seng keme ula ong ba ka nega sngi ka de ka sngi yaudu kabadai ka sngi kentiu ksing hangni hapo sengkmi ban sei ki ksing ki dha ban penbena palba baka syat suk mensim ka ban sawan hadin artayo kumta ki ai ka duai ka pirat ka ngu ka dem ban phu ban phieng ka syat bat ki kam baro ki bala pen kre ki nya be yat renti ulaong ki jing pen kre ki babu na kaliang ka seng ban penlong ya ka ni ka syat ka ba phu ka ba phieng bat ulaong ru bakan don ka jing hi kai syat ki khon samla bat ki khanaret khnang ba kan long ka ba itnat bat ka ba i phu i phieng ha ba ken syat ha ki te ki sngi
Khubor pila tapi kita kipor COVID teladon ke jingtun ban penlong ke syat e berkat rei ni syamba masen la ban clear ban ya ka syat kinok syat ila nang bon kat banang ya Islam ni kni tiru ban ni tip syaido hingga serai ban hau ni Islam kin bon kinok syat ki bani simbenta hagasni khamta makasni ba ar makasni khadi
ki gila jingra ka soka nomor ba ni sutu I bagani gede ko ni syat ka ba kodor ka ba paunam ka balong ko tindra juga jap ndo ko si ka ki kita gila jingra ka ba kung kaseng ba tuyo ne na ka soka Jylla ha ba ka pelong ni ka syat
ni tuyo ai ki gila jingra ko fer sarkar ni sayo ai ki jingra ka ban peniat baik peniat di kam ibadai berkenaan
kai gi pilun Khubor ai papin weri para ka ka klip ban
de ngap weri ki para ki babat basno ya ka niam drai ka niam khasi bakin wan bani simbenta phomat bani syat sukun sim hak tiga syat sukun sim haringkat kajing sawa isul batiang jeki sing bad ha jo kapor hak ringkat ukni nanti bad harikat kinok pekai syat bad kinong senran syat jeki kani ka sngi mentang sngi kadi kebadi ka sngi yudo kadi ka sngi bungi syaki sing hangni apa sen kadi ka sngi bungi sing kidha tangli bang ngikut benar apa bag kasyat kan saban hadin artayo te unta haba ni pinkiu sing ni ai swaka knong kabisha ni pet ni ai ka duai kirat kamu kadam ban phieng kasyat nangis kuat berikam balo dibagi pun kre knong biar bet biar jati te haba hadir mengilap kiu sing tak resmi ni demi ki sing kidha hari sing but ni pen sawa jam kumka announcement dan ni kum tak jing tutip jing pen bena bakasya dan salam syen nanda ki jing pen kre ki dan ki jing pen kre ki babon kalian pesang ban penong ka bok ya tadi kesya ka bok ko ki te ni dan ru kajing hikai syat nadu mentak sini nadu la syat sini ngin sedang ru kajing hikai syat ya ki khon samla ya ki kena red ki ban ya simbenta hak syat kenang ba kin long ki basting ki ba tubet ban shat anda kila shat hang thia pon pon but kani hi kan long ke ban pen phu pen phieng ya ka shat harin ka jing sawa jong ki sul bathiang kita ki skit ki ba kintem hang thia po shat se nyom ni tangba hang thia lumpong ni tem nrutli skit kadon ka sing lumpai ka sing lenti ka klang ka nalai ka padia nang dapat ka mesti ka shat sumut sem kalom ka shat jong ukun kasikala tikituk ki bakwa banwan ban ya don bentalang ban ngi ha ka shat nim don jikhan I ki kinwan ban petka ya ka shat hang thia pon pum king te kumbok Shillong manusam kibun kibriu kiban nakiwi ki Jylla ban nakiwi ki ri shaiban banyas petkai ka ni ka sha sukun siam but ibriang subhai ki bakin petkai bakin don bentalang haka shat ka komenji funkasi
Menteri Rangba Ukonrat ke Sangma, ulapan bena halempung yang dorbar tau an hak arpu arteri Lber, nakadaw balabun balat kad hengkali Shillong hak por step bagi kena ki be ban poi kloy school, ka sorkar kan persang ban penyat de ki school bus ban weng ya kani ka jing jong ki kmi ki kpa bat ki kena school. Tang haki than la kra de ki pau hajar ki kena school ki poi hak por step bat ka por light school. Lakmi lenti da ka jing pendan kam da ki school bus ki kmi ki kpa kin light na ka jing wan on ya la ki khon da ki kalirit ban penduna ya ka jing mi surok ki kalirit ha ka por step de tang la da ki bus school ki ban weng ya ki jing khap nia ki surok hasor Shillong.
Sir, for this entire process, I would like to go into the background. That the idea, of course, is to reduce the congestion in the city. And we have approximately 27,000 students who are commuting to schools in the Laimukra and Dhankiti area. And almost 60% of the schools, students use private mode of transportation. So keeping that in mind, a lot of discussion took place with the stakeholders, which is the schools themselves, the parents, the police, government administration, and a number of efforts were made to coordinate with the schools to start these bus services. But we found that the schools were very reluctant. A lot of them were reluctant to run the bus services, where they stressed on the fact that it is very complicated, and of course their primary work is to teach and not run bus services. And hence we were in a very complex situation where we had to achieve the goal of reducing the congestion, yet be sensitive towards the concerns of the parents and the schools. And hence we decided that let us start the process and let us pilot this by starting this innovative program where we get a society to run the buses, and the schools which are ready to work with this society will then be able to start the services. And if we realize and see that it's working well, we could then expand the services, number one. And number two, maybe once the schools see the benefit in this having the buses, then maybe we could discuss with the schools and then make it into a mandatory proposal where we could have the buses on a mandatory basis. So therefore, this is a process. I'm not saying that we will not make it mandatory, and neither am I saying that we will make it mandatory, but we have to start somewhere. And therefore, we decided that after consulting with all the stakeholders, that this proposal of putting up a society that would run these services in coordination with the schools and the administration and the parents seemed to be the most practical way to start. And then let us move forward and see how it goes, and we can then adapt and adjust as per the situation.
Your next supplementary.
Yes, sir. Well, sir, in the reply of the Chief Minister, he has said that
after discussion with many stakeholders, they have found that this proposal may not work. Or at the same time, he has mentioned that perhaps they will have a re-look into the making it mandatory, take into consideration a few examples which they will be experimenting. Question is, let's not look beyond our state in Assam. Even in Shillong, there is a school called the B.K. Bajoria School, which runs multiple school buses from all over the Shillong agglomeration, and they have been doing pretty well. So I would like to suggest to the Honorable Chief Minister, if a case study can be done as to how they are managing, thereby other schools also can be encouraged to do the same, sir. Because requests have come from various quarters to me, and I believe to other MLAs also, especially from children who are from lower economic backgrounds, living in the periphery of the location of where all the schools are located, that is the Limepra, Danketi, and Fire Brigade region. So requests have come from different villages like Molanray, Naura, Umpling, who have to depend on public transport to bring their children to school. So if some schools have buses, then that will be solved, and coming in taxis by the hundreds will ease congestion. My suggestion, sir, is since the Honorable Chief Minister said he will have a look into it, I'll be grateful if the same can be examined once again, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, the concerns of the honorable member is absolutely genuine. And what he is saying is exactly what we are doing, sir. That because we found that there was a lot of demand from the parents, from students and from schools also. As I was saying, sir, we did a vast consultation. Almost 6,000 surveys were conducted. More than 1,000 parents and almost 15 schools 22 institutes were consulted. There were more than 100 meetings that took place before we came out with this model. So it's not that it's just been done like that. We have come out with this proposal after consulting with almost every stakeholder. As I said, so more than 100 meetings took place before this model was finalized with almost every stakeholder. And hence, we felt that this model, so just explain it for the benefit of the House, that this is a model which we call STEM, so it's a Sustainable Transport and Efficient Mobility Society. And the idea, sir, is to be able to provide a society that will then run the system of these buses, where number one objective being that the management of this overall buses, the running of these buses, the maintenance of these buses will not be the headache of the schools, but the society will run these buses. And neither the government also will be directly involved in this. The society will be empowered to do the work. So it will serve the purpose of ensuring that number one, the children are able to get the services. And as I said, we started with 30 buses. If this model works well, then we will expand it into much larger fleets. The second part, sir, which is very, very important to understand, is that by giving the buses to the schools will run it in the morning once and in the afternoon once. What happens on Saturdays and Sundays? What happens on holidays? And hence we realize that maybe the most efficient way to ensure that the buses are utilized in the most efficient manner may not be by giving it to the schools, because schools also are reluctant to take it. So therefore, if the society is given the responsibility, after the school children are dropped in the school in the morning, the society will then plan and see how that bus could be then used maybe to pick up government employees from a particular location. And then also maybe on a weekend, instead of the bus lying in a particular parking place, it can be used for tourism purpose maybe. And tourists can be then taken to locations. So the whole idea of creating a society is to ensure that we are able to run the system in a proper manner. We are able to utilize the overall buses in a much more productive manner, not just for children's dropping in and picking up, but also for other purposes. The idea being to decongest Shillong city. And last but not the least, so very important in fact, that once the society runs this, there will be very, very strict safety measures. Parents were very much concerned that the children's safety is very important. So, sir, each of these buses, for example, has a GPS tracking system. So the parents can actually see where the bus has reached on their mobile phones. We'll be having about 5 CCTV cameras installed in every bus, which means that if any situation, God forbid, then the CCTV recording is there for any kind of safety and security measures that are there. And the people who will be in it will be trained to ensure that the safety and security of the children, most importantly, is kept. So these are all very important factors, and we felt a society running this system would help us achieve all these goals that we had. And as I said, as we move forward, we will see how we would be able to improve the system. And if the schools at a later stage feel that they are ready to run the services themselves, we can definitely explore it. And if we feel that the STEMS model is working fine, then we'll be able to expand the fleet. The point that mentioned by the honorable member regarding the bus services of a particular school, so we can definitely study that model also, and we can ask the team from STEMS to definitely look into it. So I just wanted to give an idea that this model has been developed after a lot of detailed thought process, keeping all these different factors in mind.
Yes, please, Basalang.
So we have seen the history of mispresence actually run by the society. Now look at the history of Jylla, which was already given to the society to run. Now all the bus is, in the storeroom actually, not even though single buses are running right now. So if we again hand it over to the society, it means like we are diverting the responsibility which was supposed to be given to the schools. So what I feel is that whatever suggestion made by our honorable MLA, I think that should be examined nicely actually. Otherwise, giving to the society again, because the responsibility will change, it will deter. So what I feel is that it will be better if we give it to the instead of society, direct to the school itself. Whichever schools want to run the buses, I think that will be a perfect, example actually. Now we have seen even in Tura also we are seeing Servo school which is running their own buses. Even in Kacharina school they are running their own buses. So that way if we can look at and examine how they are running, I think that will be the better. Instead of giving it to the society, because society will defer their responsibility. And then they will look at the, benefit, the profit, But we have seen already those who run the,
What is the question, please?
Question is that instead of giving it to the society, if it can be, give the responsibility to the school itself. Okay. Thank you.
So the suggestion and the point mentioned by the honorable member also has its validity in the sense that it would be a good solution if the schools would run it. But as I mentioned in my opening remarks, a large number of schools are not willing to run it. They are saying that our primary job is to teach the students. We are not bus services, so we don't want to run bus service. Who will maintain it? Who will pay for the driver? Who will pay for the fuel? Who will maintain the overall, the buses? So we had all these different challenges and concerns that came out from the schools and even the parents. And hence, we had to start somewhere. So therefore, after doing so much of consultation, as I said, more than 100 meetings and more than, almost close to 6,000-7,000 surveys, we felt that we'll start with this model. We're not saying that we are closing the option of giving it to the schools. Absolutely not. We will examine that, sir. But since there was so much of yes, no going on from different areas, we felt that if we continue to be indecisive and not take a decision where to start, then we'll be stuck forever in this mess. And hence, let us take a decision. There is no decision that's always perfect. There will always be plus minus to it. But we found that this particular option was maybe the best possible solution right now to move forward. As we continue, as we see it unfold, as we see the work going on, we will decide. And if we realize that maybe it's not working out in that manner, we will explore the opportunity of also giving it to the schools. And maybe if there are schools who are willing to run and we will definitely explore that. So we're not closing it. All I'm saying is that we need to start somewhere, and so we thought that this is the best way to start, by taking and carrying everybody along.
So, one last
Yes.
supplementary question.
Yes, I think we should experiment, and only we'll know. In the process of experimentation, may I now request the Honorable Chief Minister, if you can experiment from my area first, and let us see the benefits of the scheme. And it's only a humble request if the Honorable Chief Minister will accept.
Yes, sir. So if I'm not wrong, there are a total of 15 schools that have tied up with us, have signed the MOU, not MOU, but have agreed to avail these services. And I'm pretty sure that some of them are in your constituency also, sir. And in fact, the 15 schools are within the Laimukra Dhanketi area, and I guess adjoining Nongtomai area also. So they have just generically put Laimukra and Dhanketi, but all these areas I'm sure are adjoining to you. So all the schools, I can name out the names of the schools also here. So there are 15 schools, and we're starting off with these, and we will expand it to other parts of the city and to other parts of the state if we find that this particular model is working well.
Uba prestun ten song haka arpu artarik ula trod elaka kri haba umla shu ban jubab iki jingkeli jung Dr. Celestine Lingdo halor ke jingkeli kat noteli ki don ki surok ki bala ban shane ke jingya ki kali ki bakit bon ton ke jingkhia ula jubab ke jingkeli de ka baong ngakwa da ka notice laban ketien shu da uba Livingstone na mauring keneng ya uba prestun da ka bakeli kat noteli ki surok ki don ha mauring keneng constituency uba prestun ula panbiang da ka baong ngakwa da ka notice. Uba Mirror Bonds aim ula benyaw ya kajing penslam ban siang deki pelang plastik ya kamadan nelek kai hanong po. Menteri ki Kampen Roy Sports uba Shakliar Warjri ula jubab ba enle no klo ya kenika kam na marka sorkar India kalamang pisa na kabenta kanong po. Hakabaya de kajing kam ka sorkar MDA baklale shibun ka kam halor kajing penbet pur penbet sam ka Jylla Assam. VPP MLA na nongkrem uba Ardan ula penremjer ya kate ka jingkwa kiu skong ka sorkar MDA penban da ka peni ya kisabut baha usnam arajar khatsan ka jingya penbet ya upur usam kala sedang ula ong ki department baper ki lom ya ki map bat ki we ki dokumen baya de halor ka jing penbet pur penbet sam uba Ardan ula keliru ya ka jing soy ya ka MOU habadeng armut ki menteri rangba ka demo balale kat kum kaan namar kat kum kaan de ulat ka Jylla but ki secretary can happen soy ulaong.
The question is, what is the load bearing capacity? I have given time to the minister, at least he can get information from the ministers. What is the load bearing capacity? I didn't get that answer till now.
Okay, sir. Sir, I require notice for that, sir. I require notice for that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. May I know from the Honorable Minister in charge of Ludi Road, I want to know that this Jarak Road under my constituency falls under which scheme, sir? Jarak Road. Jarak.
Come again, please.
I want to know whether this Jarak Road under my constituency falls under which scheme, sir? Whether PMGSY or some other scheme?
Sir, that particular supplementary, I don't have the ready-made reply right now, so I require notice for that, sir.
Okay. Concern about Ribhoi district. We don't have artificial turf field in Ribhoi. We don't have a standard stadium in Ribhoi. We don't have even a synthetic track for athletics also. Proposal has been sent in the past, so I would like to know from the Honorable Minister in charge of sports or the Honorable Chief Minister whether the long-awaited proposal for the standard stadium with artificial turf for the field in Chinchona in Paham Sim Nongpo, whether it is under active consideration or not within the state-sponsored scheme or any central-sponsored scheme.
So, the proposal that was sent for the Chinchona, for the athletic track at Nongpo Chinchona Riboy district, sir, the proposal has been sent and it's yet to be sanctioned, sir. It has been sent.
May I know, sir, from state scheme or any central sponsor scheme?
So it's under Khelo India scheme, sir.
And I would like to request Honorable Minister and Honorable Chief Minister also. Nongpo being a district headquarter of Riboy district, please consider it at the earliest so that it will be benefit for the student, for the people of not only Nongpo, for Riboy district as a whole. So I would urge and request that it will be on a priority basis. This is my sincere request.
So I have the experience, sir, that this is not the only government that is concerned and serious in solving the border problem. In fact, I find that the government during my time was more transparent and more careful about dealing with this issue. They have been able to take everybody on board. There was an all-party meeting, and they have done a diligent work where they have documented the claim made before the government of Assam. I have with me here, sir, the presentation on issues relating to interstate boundary with Assam before the all-party meeting dated 29 July 2015. And here it includes, there was a mention that the difference of an interstate boundary, since it was there since the creation of Meghalaya as a separate state. So, and difference of inter-district boundary even during British and Assam time. Mention also was made that long outstanding issue cause of immense hardship, economic dislocation and breakdown of law and order in the affected areas. And in this document, it was also highlighted about the meetings of chief ministers held on the 5th of June 2010. And in this meeting, it was agreed inter alia that Meghalaya should present documents in support of its claim. Consequently, the government of Meghalaya has prepared this document and sent to the government of Assam. And before that, the then government has issued a public notice inviting documents, consultation with district council, DCs, etc., sir. Revenue Department prepared documents justification for each sector along with maps based on the supporting documents available, having regard to constitutional provision, relevant notification and maps as well as historical, ethnic and linguistic linkages. Sir, Chief Secretary of Meghalaya handed over sector-wise document justification maps to Chief Secretary Assam to joint committee meeting held, in a joint committee, held on 9/8/2011. Chief Secretary of Assam informed DO dated 2/9/2011, examining the papers received and will take some time for completing preliminary scrutiny. Thereafter, Assam asked for topo sheet, maps and lists of villages for areas claimed by Meghalaya. And these were furnished on 17/2/2012. So, I would like to touch only those areas which, 6 differences which MOU has been signed between MDA government and the counterpart Assam. When it comes to Taravari area, sir, here, according to the claim of Meghalaya, it was mentioned here that the area is 4.69 square kilometer. And mention also was made in this claim that this area was part of Rambrai's aimship, taken over by British and made into Nonglang Sirdership, sir. Order dated 22nd 1879 of DC transferred the Sirdership to KH Khasi and Gentle district land revenue to be deposited in that district. Therefore, sir, according to this claim, historically it was part of Khasi state. 1876 notification corroborates this, sir. Sir, coming to Gizang forest area, this has a total area of 13.53 square kilometer, and the same claim has been made by the state government of Meghalaya. This area was part of Rambrai's aimship, order dated 20th 2nd 1879 of DC transferred citizenship to K. Khasi and Gentle district, asked Mausada to collect and deposit revenue in Shillong treasury, historically on the Khasi and Gentle Hills, notification of 1876. Number of villages in the area fall within 29 Maltingkut District Council constituency. Map also has been supplied on this regard. Coming to the Hahim area, sir, the total area is 3.51 square kilometer. Again, historically, this area was part of Rambrai's aimship under jurisdiction of Khasi and Gentle Hills district, notification number 1430 dated 14/9/1876. Chief Commissioner asked 1877 DC Khasi and Gentle Hills district to collect house tax of Nonglang Eleka. Issue of interpretation on ground of notification determined boundaries of Kamrup and United Khasi and Gentle Hills, Nongriang Sea Citizenship and Nonglang Citizenship under constituency number 11 of District Council and later part of 29 Maltingkut constituency. 1961 census shows it is a part of Nongpok police station, area inhabited largely by local tribals. Atiavari Lijadubi, part of 22nd Maltingkut Assembly constituency, aspect electoral roll of 1970. And map also is attached in this claim, sir. So, coming to Bordua, this has an area of 147.83 square kilometer. Historically, on the Khasi's aims taken over by British after Utirat Singh's revolt. Census records of 1961, 1971 show many villages on the Nongpok police station of United Khasi and Gentle Hills district.
Pada itu ki Khubor lepoy syakapakun tarhadu bangin daya syambiang kublai shibun.